any second. That's odd because we are live. I can see us.
Yeah, I can see us as well.
Yeah, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Welcome, welcome. So, what are we even calling our topic? We gave it a very interesting name, and we do want to start our YouTube live with this. So, of course, it is Stefan and my first YouTube live together. We've done a few LinkedIn lives, but then, yeah, we decided to do a YouTube live. So welcome to our YouTube live. We are calling our topic "The Art of Doing Less: How Minimal Leadership Creates Maximum Impact." And I'm just quickly going to give an intro to the topic. But before I forget, I'm Sarika Kharbanda. Hello, everybody. I am a change agent, or at least I consider myself to be that, with a mantra of disrupt, unleash, co-create, accelerating your leadership journeys to go from good to great. That's me.
Amazing. I'm Stefan Stojkovic. I'm also here, want to explore this topic. This is always interesting topic because I like to say that I work with teams so they work smarter, not harder. So that's something that I do as well. In different perspectives and different areas, I work with many teams from IT, gaming, manufacturing to startups. And after my work with teams, we are achieving that teams become more predictable, deliver on promises, improve continuously, which is actually leading to the happier people, satisfied clients, and higher profits, which means satisfied C-level as well in this. So, yeah, I think this is really important topic because both of us are doing a lot of change management initiatives and also seeing what teams are able to do and what they are not able to do because they have some constraints. So we'll explore that topic today.
Yep. And I think it's interesting how we are, seeing these things because in spite of so many years in the leadership management journeys, we still see leaders having that feel or the need to micromanage, to control pretty much every minute detail and not stepping back and, looking at it from a different view or giving it not even a 20,000 feet view, but at least a 5,000, 10,000 feet view, right? Just stepping back a
Yeah.
little. The consequences that we are seeing because of all of this is quite bad, actually. Burnouts, not just of the teams, but also of the leaders themselves. Um, and I think specifically managers, project managers. I mean, it's odd that I have to say that because I've been one myself, been on that journey, but I shifted minds, right? And the other consequence I'm seeing, Stefan, is, and I'm sure you're seeing that too, right? A lot of micromanagement leading to disengaged teams, people not wanting to, then even open up, give ideas,
Mm.
less innovation. I mean, I'm sure we can just go on and on and on with the consequences list of all this happening. And I think the intent that both of us thought and felt for this topic was quite strong, that we wanted our talk today to really focus on that shift of mindset, right? Shift from being the doer or micromanager or, doing it all. From that to being the enabler, looking at the environment and everything else so that you have better time for yourself, for looking at things strategically, and also letting the team do their job.
Yeah, I totally agree. And at the end, it's really interesting that all this control to fix and approve and to monitor every detail actually in most cases comes from the good intention, yeah. But the results are totally opposite, yeah. So I like always to talk about the story about the Ferrari in the traffic jam. So just imagine you own a Ferrari, fast, powerful, built for speed, agility, and so on. But then you drive it and you are driving in all the time into traffic jam. Yeah. So you're stuck behind buses, you're stuck behind trucks, cars crawling 20 kilometers per hour, and so on. So no matter how strong the engine is, you can't go faster. actually go as fast as the slowest car in that traffic jam. Yeah. So that's what happens in many organizations. We hire talented people, Ferraris, yeah, but then we throw into the system where they work procedures, rules, by the book narratives, endless approvals, reporting in every step, watching every their move, and so on. So instead of oscillating all the time, people are just stop and breaking all the time because they're actually not able to be creative, not able actually to have an impact, yeah, because they are all the time ticking some boxes, and usually it takes more time to tick boxes in procedures and rules than actually do actual work, yeah. So leaders, in my opinion, often believe this control ensures like safety or accountability or something like that, but in reality it kills engagement, it kills creativity, it kills innovation. So Ferraris and talented people, creative people in the traffic jam will never be a great. So that's something that I don't know. What do you think about this, Sarika, from your perspective? Doing less control but creating more impact. Is this something minimal leadership is about?
Definitely, definitely. Yeah. Because and why go far, right? I think you and I are both project managers in our own way. So let's talk about our own stories, right? So I mean, I'll just share one very short story about my own self where I was hired from elsewhere in the world to manage a project elsewhere in the world. And I'm like, I don't know the language, I don't know this much about what's happening, but you've got to enable. And everything about the project was going negative. The business was unhappy. IT was not delivering, buggy deployments. And it was, of course, an IT focused project, but you're delivering for business value, right? All of those negatives, abusive relationships between IT and business. And abusive is still a polite word, you can imagine now. So, with all of that, you have this third party being hired from elsewhere, calling herself a project manager, wanting to make things done, happen and whatnot. And I thought to myself, it's great to be a manager, to be, helping this project, but how do you do it? And then you and I being the management 3.0 hatted people, and believe it or not, I had not done management 3.0 when I was doing that project. This was way back. And I can remember that from my first journeys of project management. I actually said, you know what? I don't think we have these enablers in the environment because you people are just getting obstacled from every point. So I actually started to think, what is the biggest obstacle that I, as their manager, can remove for them and enable them? And what would happen if I didn't do a lot of the troubleshooting or firefighting every day, right? What if I didn't do that? Because I would just get into that mode. I can so see that we are resonating on this, right? Because we will just get into firefighting mode because there's no other way if we immerse ourselves in it. So what did I do? Intentionally take a step back. I even asked for help. I was like, I'm not the expert here. You guys are. So let's enable you to deliver because only then we're going to be successful. Of course, there were jaw drops, culture drops, all of that happened. They were like, what the hell is she saying? So she's saying she can't help us. She doesn't know what her job is. That was another story, but that's a culture thingy. But when they understood this whole fact that I'm there to support them, I'm there to help, I'm there to delegate, I'm there to help remove obstacles and not micromanage, but we just do one meeting where we talk to each other at the end of every day. Make sure, of course, we call it a stand-up meeting today, but I purposely didn't use the jargon. But I thought that worked very well for them and it wasn't micromanagement at all. And the focus was on results. What better outcome can we get, right? So back to you. I mean, what do you have from your story kit there, or because that's how I'm seeing exactly your point on Ferraris and whatnots, right?
Yeah, I mean, in most of cases in my career, when I ask people, what do we need, they never answer a new process or new procedure or new
Yeah.
approval loop. So never. That was never the case. And we are always thinking that will help. So it's kind of, I'm always trying to understand why so many leaders still fall back into micromanagement, even it's clear it doesn't work. Yeah, it clearly doesn't work. So I was thinking a lot, and one team I had, they were, let's say, I joined the team like 6 months after they started work. Yeah. And in these 6 months, they built a lot of rules, procedures, and so on, everything. And a lot of approvals were there. So, team leader actually was involved in day-to-day job, in operations all the time. So, nothing could happen without that person. Yeah. Because he was actually trying to micromanage and fix each problem. Yeah.
Hmm.
Even problem is so small that it will not hurt the final outcome. He
Hmm.
was, let's say, having something, he was perfectionist, so he wanted to, let's say, involve himself into it. Yeah. So
Hmm.
that actually built the disengagement and low trust. Yeah. And when people are in this level of low trust, they will work just enough so
Correct.
they, it seems they working, and that's it. They will not push more, they will not try to do more. So what was, for me, what I did actually, I was asking them, okay, forget about everything what you have currently in your procedures. If we need to start from the zero right now, not having anything, what will be one only thing you would need?
Hmm.
8 out of 10 said clarity.
Hmm.
They
Look at
needed
that.
clarity. So
Yeah.
they didn't need a procedure, process, approval. They needed clarity. So what they wanted actually, to have clarity about what we are producing, why we are producing, and then they will understand how to do it because they're the subject matter experts. So we said, okay, let's now think about with leadership how we bring that clarity to the team so they see enough information so they can start, so they see enough information so they can continue and to improve after each iteration cycle or every other project. So I don't know, what do you think, why so many leaders still fall in this micromanagement? I cannot explain to myself why still that happens, really.
I'll just say it's unfortunate. We know that, or maybe it's just a fear. I think at least what I'm, especially for delegation, right? What you and I see today, leaders generally don't delegate because there's this inherent fear of either losing status or, losing or making it look like you have nothing more to do. But trust us, leaders. I mean, if you delegate, you have better things to do because honestly, there are a lot of decisions that I would want my team to take. Even in the story I was saying, right? I empowered my team to make those decisions because if I had taken those decisions, I think they would be wrong. So a lot of times we believe we make better decisions, but well, like we say in our management 3.0 space, sometimes the decisions made by the teams are much better than we would actually make them as managers and leaders because they have the right amount of information to make that decision. And unless you empower them, how are we going to make them successful, make their environment successful? And if they're successful, we are successful. By the way, that could be another fear that a lot of these leaders have, right? That oh my God, if I don't get involved in it, how will the team succeed? Well, you need to step back for that and build the environment for your team because that's really your success. You don't have to be in it to be successful, but if you enable that environment for the team, it's still your success, right? And and all of this that we are talking is really it's really about facilitation. It's not command and control or micromanaged leadership. It's minimal leadership, really facilitative approach to leadership, where you guide the conversations amongst the team members, bring clarity, like what you said, that is so critical. You bring clarity through a workshop, have an alignment workshop, bring clarity, priorities. What's your priority? Bring clarity. What are the blockers? Remove them or help remove, bring clarity with that, right? That would be my response, a long response to your question.
Yeah, yeah, I think that that's a big issue today because leaders are too often trapped in the stability thinking about stability a lot of times. But to be successful, any system in the world, whatever it is, it can be a team, organization, it can be ecosystem, whatever, needs to balance two things. Yeah, it needs to let's say be stable and to survive. Let's say that's the first thing. Yeah, you need to survive, but also you need to let's say reach your maximum potential. Yeah, that needs to be in balance. If you are just striving for stability and don't touch anything, it works, then you decrease innovation. Yeah, and then if there is no innovation, what happens? Market swallows complete your organization and everything else, and you are not anymore the player in the game called economy, society, or whatever. So you're just pushed out because you were not able to enable your team to be autonomous and take decisions and so on. And I think the problem with taking giving to the team more responsibility is that fixed cost of delegation that we always have. Yeah, it will cost at the beginning. I need to explain a lot of things. I need to give more and so on and so on. But the return in investment is so huge actually, because then your team becomes scalable team. Yeah, because if you are leading a team of 10 and all the time try to control everything, you'll never be able to get another team, another 10, and another team, another 10. Yeah, never, because you're just controlling and every decision needs to go through you. So that's kind of what I see as a problem today, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And I think neither of us are saying this is easy to do, okay? It takes courage. We're not saying
Yeah.
it's an overnight shift. I am also not saying it was an overnight shift for me. I was like, I think I went through a journey myself, and I was like, when I remember first, moving from being a manager to working with the team because I started learning how to work agile. And I was like, oh, I can't tell you what to do. Oh, I have to work with you. What does that mean? But I immersed myself to understand, and then later thought, it was stupid. How could I even say that, you will take 4 hours to complete this? I mean, you might really take 2 hours and I would never know. But I'm not creating the environment for you to say 2 hours because I'm telling you you're going to do 4 hours, right? That's odd, right?
Uh,
So I think it just needs the courage and the patience. Yeah.
yeah, it's always harder to work on trust than to work on control.
Oh, yeah.
It's much harder. Yeah, control is easy. Yeah, you just need to, let's say, be aware what to control when. It's exhausting at the end, because if your team is let's say growing, it becomes harder and harder. But build trust, it's not that easy. Then you need to be involved, then you need to bring clarity, and of course teams which do not have this trust enabled, I think they will not take risk, and then this innovation I talk about, nothing will happen. They will not learn. Yeah, in this fear-driven environment, they will start to hide stuff, yeah, under the carpet. Yeah, because I'm afraid what others will say, or my team leader will say when I say I made this mistake. Yeah, so there is no learning out of
Yeah.
mistakes as well for the complete team, and then of course lower trust, and then it's a finger pointing, who did this, who did that. So it ruins complete team. So those team are never long lived. Yeah, never. I find myself in several situations where I saw that a leader is actually assigning tasks to the people. Yeah, you will
Mm,
do this, you will do that, you will do this. And one of the person who was really creative always getting boring stuff to do. Yeah, like
yeah.
always same thing to do. And he was like, I do not want to do this. This is so exhausting. Why can we rotate or whatever, or do something
Right.
like different? And when I entered the team, I propose, do you want that you self pick, self selection of the items from the backlog, and see how that works. Team leader, of course, was afraid. Yeah, but he never did something like this. I said, okay, what we can lose? When he goes to the vacation, this team who knows how to do it, do you know someone who can replace him? No. Let's then invest. Then invest in another person also learn that skill or that tech stack or whatever, and then you have more people. So self selection of the task, and I think within 3 or 4 months, productivity really improved. At the beginning, it slows down, even be worse because there is a learning curve. You need to learn new stuff, but after 3 months, it was really boosted. Yeah. So then people was like happy. Oh, let's see what I will take today. So they were like, not what will be given to me today, but how what I will take today and work today. So I think that is really important. What I think leaders need to leave, yeah, and say, yeah, I will leave this. I will not be involved in this. They're smart. They know how they work, and especially if they do this collaboratively and say, hey, this is what we need to do. Let's see who can take what, so we are, let's say, most productive that week or that month or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just peeping that side just to see if any questions on the chat or something, and I'm just conscious of time, so we are 20 minutes in. I think maybe next 5 minutes, let's start wrapping up. What do you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So, but just for those who are watching us live, and I can see there's a few there. So, any question, just put them in the chat, and Stefan and I can just peep into it and then just take it up. So not a problem at all. Still have a few minutes to go. But I'm thinking in terms of, or maybe, maybe I don't want to wrap it up that way. I want to nudge those leaders, those managers with, things to do. And of course, it's going to take courage and patience and, a lot of confidence to do what you want to do. But with that as a prerequisite, I want you to even think, right, as a leader, as a manager, where could doing less help you really focus on those strategic priorities and doing less of that firefighting? Where in your whole project would you do that? And maybe another nudge would be, if you facilitated your project differently, maybe. So if you didn't manage your project and you facilitated your project, what would be different? Because we are saying facilitation involves, well, bringing clarity, empowering your teams, guiding conversations, not daily status, but working with people and not at people, removing blockers, coming up or clarifying priorities, doing retrospectives and facilitating those. I mean, it's so much of that piece in there. So at least these two things are immediately coming to my mind based on what we've just spoken.
Yeah. I think those are really good questions. People can think about, like, what's one process or one rule in our company that feels like more like a break than a gas. If we talk
Yeah,
about fair,
yeah,
think about one. Start with one thing. Yeah, think about that. Yeah, then think about, um, if you're leading currently a team, what is the hardest thing for you right now to let go? Yeah, and think what is the easiest thing. Yeah, and then makes yourself a priority. Okay, this is really easy. I can let this go to the team. This is totally fine for me. Yeah, and I think there needs to happen something like mind shift in terms of how you discuss and, let's say, facilitate your team. So next time where you actually want to tell something, try to ask instead of telling. Next time, instead of checking something, let team decide what needs to be checked and what support they need from you. Yeah.
yeah,
Next time where you need to, there is some problem, you want to fix it, stop and think, okay, what can team do without me, and I will be there to support. If any obstacle which is not in their control and they're not capable to do it, I can take and remove. So
yeah.
we need to start thinking differently, and I think this is the hardest thing to do. Start thinking differently, but starting with one thing, one process or one rule or whatever, it definitely can help. Yeah.
Yeah, I think these are lots of micro actions. Of course, this video is going to be available. You're welcome to rewatch it. If we've both spoken of lots of micro actions and also broader actions. So yeah, just jump back in and, you can just relook at what we've just spoken and try and, bring that out. And if you do put something into practice, do come and write in the comments of this video. We would love to hear what you've taken back, what you've tried, maybe in the immediate, maybe this week. You've heard us today, just try something out there tomorrow. Maybe just try delegating something small and simple. Like Stefan said, just pick something really small, easy, something difficult, mix it up, whatever, but something small, right? Don't try and eat the whole cake. You're not going to want to do that. Grab a small slice of it, but
Yeah,
micro work always works. Micro actions always work. Yeah. But
exactly. And they
that's
boost
it. I mean, yeah.
motivation. They boost the move. They move stuff a bit. Yeah, and then when you see that it's possible, then you'll say, oh, let's take a bigger one, bigger one, bigger one. But yeah, you start small. And I think we talk about all these micro actions. What you can explore, definitely. I think Sarika will agree. Lean coffee. Yeah, I think from if you do not know what lean coffee is, we do not have now time to go deeply, but try to find out. I think that could help a lot in these discussions with him and how to drive discussions. Yeah, actually, that you become more person asking questions and asking actually what questions we should answer. I think this is really powerful. So let's talk about what questions needs to be answered. Even not time asking questions anymore. I think that's pretty powerful. We can use.
Yeah, and given the topic that we have, the art of doing less, just remember, doing less does not mean inaction. It doesn't mean sitting idle and doing nothing. It is intentionally enabling things for your teams. It's really intentionally doing that. And that's really doing less or minimal leadership and all of what we've said, just to sum it up. So what do we call it? The art of doing less. So, yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
less is more.
Less is
In the
more.
end.
Yeah, yeah. All right. But thank you, people, for listening to us. And any questions, of course, feel free to, put that in the comments once this video is out, which will be in the next 5 minutes. So not a problem. And we will see you hopefully yet again next month for another LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live. I'm so used to LinkedIn Live now. Look at that. But we haven't decided on a topic. So if any of you think we should address something in what Stefan and I can bring our experience working as leaders and managers ourselves, and today we are both coaching and mentoring and training leaders, managers in the same space. So if you think we can bring a topic for you, share that in the comments too, or just reach out to us directly. Happy to chat. Thank you, Stefan.
Thank you, everyone. So remember, minimal leadership is about less control, more enabling. See you next time.